Over the past few months, I've been seeing a little bit of a trend on the news. On September 7, 2016, a man and a woman were pulled over by the police because they were driving erratically behind a school bus. Once pulled over, the officer realized that these people were under the influence of some pretty strong drugs. The officer took this picture to spread awareness for addiction in the hopes to help other addicts seek help. He believed that if you saw these addicts at their low point, it might motivate you yourself to go get some help. On September 22nd, a woman overdosed in a Family Dollar Tree in Lawrence, Massachusetts. A bystander took this video of a little girl trying to wake up her mother. As you could tell, the little girl was very scared. The police said that the bystander should have done something, but feels like this video will help other addicts get help. In the past few weeks, I've talked to a lot of families and individuals who have suffered with addiction in the past, and I asked them, do these videos actually help people reach out for help? And the majority of them said no. One of these individuals told me that these types of videos and things on the news actually shames addicts and makes them feel like they can't reach out for help because of the shame and the guilt that people feel. You can't turn addiction off like a light switch like the media suggests. There are many people who are suffering with addiction in silence, who feel ashamed about this addiction and don't want to reach out for help. They're too scared to come forward because they don't want to be judged the way that these people are. So today I want to bring awareness to addiction with the help of Seasons in Malibu, a CARF-accredited dual diagnosis treatment center, who have kindly sponsored this video. So please stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about Seasons in Malibu. Many people believe that addiction is not a disease and people can just turn it off if they want to. If people want to get better, they have that choice. People also believe that individuals who are suffering with addiction are weak-minded and lack willpower to stop the addiction. Like other diseases like asthma or diabetes, addiction can develop over time. Sometimes people are susceptible to addiction behavior through their genetics, but others have no genetic history of addiction in their family. Some develop addiction through lifestyle, through the environment. It's the famous nature and nurture debate. As for controlling your addictive behavior, it all depends on the individual. Some can stop with just willpower, but others need a little more assistance. Most drugs affect the brain's reward circuit and flood it with a chemical called dopamine. This reward system controls the body's ability to feel pleasure and motivates the individual to keep seeking out that thing that gives us pleasure. Usually this part of the brain is used for food, hunger, and sexual reproduction, things that humans need. But sometimes drugs can get in there as well. If we overstimulate this brain circuit, this can cause a pleasurable high for the individual, making you want to go back for more and more of the thing that caused that pleasure. When a person continues to use that substance to feel that pleasure, the body can get used to this. The body adjusts that level of dopamine in the system, which reduces the body's reward system to respond to it. That's why it takes more and more and more of the drug to get that pleasurable experience. Long-term use causes actual chemical changes inside of the brain, and this can impair a lot of our functioning in our judgment, in our memory, in our decision-making, stress, and overall behavior. As you can see, it's a lot harder to stop an addiction than you probably thought. Many people actually turn to drugs and alcohol to cope with other illnesses like mood disorders, bipolar disorders, PTSD, and grief. This is called dual diagnosis. Dual diagnosis is a term that means someone is experiencing a substance abuse problem while also having a mental health problem as well. It can range from having mild depression to someone abusing drugs during a bipolar manic episode, making their bipolar disorder a lot worse. About 1/3 of people experiencing mental illness and 1/2 of people who are living with a severe mental illness also have a substance abuse problem. Men are more likely than women to have a dual diagnosis, and people who are particularly high of having a dual diagnosis are people who are low socioeconomic status, veterans, and just individuals with a general mental illness. So now that we understand why it's so hard for people to just stop having that addiction, turning it off like a light switch, I want to talk about different treatments that could help people who have a dual diagnosis or a substance abuse problem. Some of the more common treatments for people who have substance abuse problems are detoxification, inpatient rehabilitation, certain meds and psychotherapy, as well as self-help and support groups like AA. So to give an example of some of these treatments, I would like to talk about our sponsors today, Seasons in Malibu. So Seasons in Malibu is a CARF-accredited drug rehabilitation center Center in Malibu, California. It is one of the prettiest and most peaceful treatment centers I have ever seen. Drug and alcohol rehab can be very intense, and that is why the center was created, to help people recover in a center that has less stress as possible. There are many activities that are offered in Seasons in Malibu, including beach walks, meditation, art therapy, yoga, the list goes on. It is a really calming environment to help patients with their growth and healing. Seasons in Malibu hires the best staff from all over the country. They respect the patient and understand that addiction is a disease that needs to be treated. They know that addiction is very complicated, and so they keep up with the latest research to help their patients. They treat people with dual diagnoses, like we've talked about, with mood disorders, PTSD, impulse control disorders, and grief and bereavement. What makes this treatment center different than all of the rest is they want to strongly understand the underlying issues and figure out what caused someone to turn to addiction in the first place. To do that, they offer many different types of treatments, including support groups, individualized therapy, and access to a treatment team of over 30 individuals. They also have a cutting-edge holistic treatment model, which means that they treat the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. If you or someone you know is suffering with an addiction, I want you to know that treatment is out there and recovery is possible. There are a lot of different types of treatments out there in your community for you. I'm going to be leaving some of the resources down below to help you find a treatment center or a center to help you in your recovery. Recovery is so possible and so worth it. Treatment centers and professionals understand what you're going through and know that it's not a choice, and know that you are hurting, and know that you are suffering. So please reach out for help today, because there is help for you. So I want to ask you a question now. Do you think the media portrays people with addiction properly? Do you think that it's helping the cause, or do you think it's not helping the cause? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.